Canada's inflation rate has risen to more than 3%. And if you own a vehicle, you may not be surprised to hear what's driving the rate of inflation. CBC business reporter Angie Seth joins me now here in studio with more on this. Okay, so new data just came out. We're talking about gas prices too, but what are the numbers?
Yeah, unfortunately, we're sort of looking at that. But as you pointed out, Statistics Canada reporting the consumer price index increasing 3.2% year over year in May. This is up from 2.8% in April. And of course, the first time we've broken that 3% mark in 3 years. And we talked about the higher price of gasoline, main driving factors there. On a year over year basis, it rose at a faster pace, in fact, in May compared to April. And that is, of course, due in part mainly to the war in the Middle East in terms of those rising gas prices, the closure of the Strait of Hormuz as well, of course, playing a big factor in all of that. And what economists are also watching for very closely is the cause of the surge in inflation and whether it remains entirely contained to energy prices or is it spilling over into other areas. And I want to switch over to produce because that is where we're seeing some of those early indications. The price of vegetables rising 9% in May compared to last year. Things like broccoli, cauliflower, tomatoes, and lettuce are some of the big drivers. But there you go. I want to highlight tomatoes. They jumped up 45%, which is huge. And Statistics Canada is noting this due to supply contractions in Mexico stemming from poor weather and a reduction in planted acreage following the implementation of U.S. tariffs. So we're seeing that effect of tariffs as well. The price of fresh fruit as well has also risen much faster, at a much faster pace year over year in May, 5.3%. Grapes and berries, for example, are driving up the cost there.
Okay, so we've been talking about some of the key sort of areas that people are seeing it, but you know, it's interesting because of course it's summertime now.
Exactly.
People are also trying to book vacations.
Where do you go and what can you afford? And when we talk about some of that spillover, we've seen it in travel. The cost of travel, the cost of airfare has gone up. Of course, we know there's that story around jet fuel. That's sort of playing a factor in this. Airlines experiencing a higher operational costs. Again, as I mentioned, part of that being jet fuel. And bringing it all together now, these are the factors that the Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem noted in the last interest rate announcement, saying that the bank is watching all of these things very, very closely, indicating that if there is spillover beyond energy that is driving up the inflation, then that could perhaps prompt the Bank of Canada to change the interest rate. So we will be watching for that.
Okay, thank you for breaking it down for us. That is the CBC's Angie Seth.